Hello everyone, welcome back to my booktube. I am a romance reader and love all things to do with books, so if you do like that sort of content, don't forget to subscribe and let's get into the video. So I have just DNF'd this book. I've not liked it. I got about 3 chapters in and I was like, you know what, I'm really not feeling it. It was a bit all over the place and I thought, just close the book and choose a book that you actually want to read. So I'm now going to be reading Say You Swear by Meagan Brandy because I wanted to read this for a long time, but BookTok put me off because of how popular it is. But I thought, you know what, let's pick it up and we can read it together and I will tell you my honest thoughts of what I think. So I'm going to give myself about an hour to give it a little bit of a read and then I'll tell you what I think after that hour. I love the cover of this and I'm just hoping it's good because I've heard so many good things, but I've also heard people saying it's overrated, which I'm like, oh. But we're going to give it a go and see if it's any good. It can't be any worse than the last book I just read, but if it is, it's going in the bin. Okay? For the one who feared the fall but dared to jump anyway, this one is for you. Cliffhanger. Dun, dun, dun. I'm sorry, but they're being a bit possessive with this girl and it's really starting to get on my nerves. She's 18, for God's sake. They can do it but she can't. Why is that? Jesus. This book. Do you know what? I'm only on chapter 5 and I think I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna like this book. Right, it is 5 to 7 now, so it is about an hour. I'm on chapter 5. Every time I finish each chapter, there's some sort of like cliffhanger wanting me to read more, and I really like that in a book. And the chapters are short, which is also a good sign. But it's making me want to read because it's like just a little sentence at each end of the chapter, and I'm like. So I think I'm going to like this book. I've already started annotating it because there was just something in it. I thought this is going to be a good book. This is going to be a good time to use my annotation tabs, which I have not used before. They are new. So I've got some purple ones in there. So him, her, spicy and quotes I love. The chapters that I have read does remind me a little bit of the Kissing Booth because they're all together because of their mums. So their mums are best friends and that's how they've grown up and known each other and stayed together. Now Mason and Ariana are twins, and then you've got Brady, Chase and Cameron, and they are obviously in the friendship group. So they've all gone to this beach house because their mums have decided to give them this beach house and take over it as adults as they want them all to stay together. So they've gone to celebrate the end of summer at this beach house and they've gone out on a night out and stuff, and a little bit started to happen with Chase and Ariana, but then it sort of got dwindled off and I was like, oh, already? Drama's hitting the fan already. Then the next day they've gone to the beach playing football and there's Cameron and Ariana, which is the two girls. They've just sat in their bikinis and stuff, and then all of a sudden she gets knocked out by this football and then this other boy comes in to view and she starts having the feelings for him already, and she's like, what on earth, I've only just met him, why am I feeling like this? So there's going to be some drama kicking off, and every chapter at the end has been like a little cliffhanger as to what's going to happen in the next chapter, and I love that in a book. I love the fact of the suspense and I love a bit of drama straight away, and that is what I am liking so far. So I feel like I'm going to be whizzing through this book and it's going to be a bit of me. The only thing I'm not liking at the minute is the fact that Mason, which is a twin brother, is very possessive over her. Like, he won't let her do anything. And the thing is, he's gone off in the club and talked to girls and doing whatever, and yet she's not even allowed to look at another boy, and another boy's not even allowed to talk to her. It's a bit possessive to me, and Brady's a bit the same, and I'm like, I don't like that. maybe there's a reason. There is a reason behind it, but it's a bit over the top, and I just think, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like him as a character, but we'll see. So far so good. Like I say, chapter 5, not bad for an hour. So it is now the next day, and I thought that I would update you of how far I actually got in this book last night. So I read up to chapter 9, which is page 82 of this book, and as you can see, I started to annotate it a little bit. I did buy these annotation tabs off of Amazon, and these ones are so much better than the ones I had before, because the other ones that I had before were like proper post-it notes. These are the ones that are clear and see-through, and the ones that you can write on, and they lay much flatter. So yes, I've started to annotate a little bit. My first time annotating, but you know, we'll see. So yeah, so far so good. There's a lot of characters that is kind of hard to keep up with. The main ones are Ariana and Chase, but, well, at the minute anyway, but there's other ones that are flying about, and it's kind of hard to keep up, but I'm hoping the rest of it's good. I mean, I read up to chapter 82, and like I said, every end of the chapter it kept me reading, so hopefully it's going to be good. But I'm going to go in the bath because that's what I'm ready to do. Ignore the fact that I have a massive spot on my face. It's really irritating me, and I have one on my neck, but anyway. I'm going to go in the bath, and then I'm going to read some more of my books. Noah has just arrived on the scene. Noah has just arrived on the scene. I have not updated this vlog for the past couple of days, but I thought that'd show you where I'm currently at. So I'm actually on chapter 21, which is page 200. I did start annotating it because I thought I was going to like it. However, I've got into this chapter and I'm like, maybe I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop doing that because I'm not feeling it. I did say in previous parts of this vlog that I was going to really like it because I liked how at the end of each chapter it was a cliffhanger, but now I'm like, And the reason why is because now that Noah's entered the scene of this book, I'm like, there's nothing, you know, there's nothing to keep me going. Do you know what I mean? Because to begin with, you know, she was talking about Chase and how she'd loved him from, you know, from a young age, and obviously all her friends were together because of the mums and stuff like that, that they've grown up together, but she like had a big crush on him, and that's how she sort of developed the feeling for him. I feel like he knew that, and he took advantage of that. So one day when something happens to one of the other characters, again I can't keep up with them, they end up meeting at the beach house, and she goes off into the moonlight or something like that at the beach and just sits there, and then he follows her all of a sudden, and then they end up having sex magically under the moonlight. And then yeah, then after that he sort of like ignores her and dismisses her, and that's really hurt her because, you know, she fancied him and stuff like that, but she's like, you know what, if he's not going to bother with me, I'm not going to bother with him. I'm just going to have to deal with it myself, and when I go to college I'm just going to have to get on with it and just, you know, try and busy myself doing other stuff. However, she's kind of pushing the rest of the friendship group out, because even though she's trying to heal herself inside, she's sort of ignoring them at the same time, and they're like, come on, but they don't know anything about it, they don't know what's happened. And Mason, her brother, is very overprotective, but to me it's just a bit too much, and it's really annoying. I know you can look out for your siblings, but then there's the bit over the top, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and then because Chase is ignoring her and stuff like that, she's like, right, I'm just gonna ignore you, I'm just going to get over it myself, because at the end of the day, if I don't, it's going to hurt me more than pretending it's not happened. So then all of a sudden this Noah lad turns up that she met currently at the beach, and now she's at the same college as him. She starts hanging around with him a bit more, they start, you know, staying at his house, and he's showing her how to cook and all that, and becomes a friendship to her. However, she then starts developing a little bit of feelings, and she's like, actually I really like this guy. She's like, no, she's trying to push the idea away, because she's like, every so often she'll be reminded of Chase. But that's where it twists. Now that she's hanging around with Noah, Chase is like, oh, I want to know now, I want to know why, and he keeps like making these snarky remarks towards her as if to say, well, where are you going, why are you doing that? Now this is the bit that gets me mad, right? And I've seen this in real life as well. So now that her attention is on this other lad, he now wants to know her. And I'm telling you now, if she switched and started to chase him again, funny enough his name's Chase, then he would be like, no, don't want to know. But as soon as her attention is now on another man, he now wants to know. And that's really annoying. However, Noah's very kind and sweet and gentle with her, and he's taking her time, and he's not pushing her into anything, he's not forcing her. And the fact that he's not forcing her into anything and not making her do anything that she don't want to do. He likes her, and it's very obvious that he likes her, but he's not pushing it on her. And she told him a lot what happened with him, and told him all about, you know, the fact that she had sex with him and stuff like that. And he was like, you know, was it your first time? Did he know it was your first time? And she didn't say, yeah, she didn't say no, basically, you know. And he was like, well, was he gentle and stuff like that, but he knows he was an arsehole to her. And Mason, her brother, is a bit more like lenient with him and sort of like lets it happen, lets her stay with him and be with him and be friends with him, and he lets her like be taken home by him, stuff like that, whereas like Chase is a bit more like, no, you're not doing that. So I think Mason knows what Chase is like, and I think Mason knew that she liked Chase, and that's why he wanted to keep her away from him. So that's the bit that I'm up to so far. I feel like it's sort of jumping a little bit every so often, but now it's just getting to the point like, yeah, we know what's going to happen. Do we necessarily need all these pages? I don't know. I'm hoping it gets better, because at the minute I'm just a bit bored and I'm really trying to push through it. I feel like the words are on the paper, but it's not going in my head. And there's so many characters. I know Ariana and Chase and Noah are like the main ones, but then there's Mason, there's Brady, there's Cameron, there's other ones that keep popping up, and I'm like, whoa, there's a lot to keep up with. For all those that are a lover out there of this book, I'm sorry, but this is just not it. I can't. I cannot. I'm on chapter 26, which I have previously said, but I'm really struggling to read it. I'm really pushing myself to read this book just because I want a book off my physical TBR this month, and this is the only book I've kind of read this month. I'm really forcing it, and I'm sorry, but it's really just droning. And I'm just hoping that the rest of the book is going to be good, or at least worth it, because I'm really not feeling it. And I'm sorry for everybody that loves it. I can't. I have now finally finished Say You Swear, and it did take me quite a while to read because I did put it down for a little bit, read other books, and then I thought, oh, do I pick it back up? I didn't want to. Left it for a couple of days and I thought, no, pick it up and let's finish it. So I did, and 3 stars I gave it in the end. I did give it 2.5 stars, which I did say previously. However, for the last part of the book, I thought, let's just give it an extra bit of a star. So I did, just because there was some drama. So where I'd left it, I didn't realise there was going to be a bit more drama afterwards. However, because there was dramas kicking off, I was like, oh, maybe I did enjoy it a little bit. But once that drama happened, I felt like it was dragged out so much. And I feel like this is what this book is. Everything is just so dragged out and it's drawn out, and it just got a bit repetitive and boring in the end. Even towards the end, there was an epilogue in the book, and I was a bit like, oh, I'll just read the epilogue, let's see. I won't go into. I thought I'm just going to leave it there, but I did. I wish I never did, because it still dragged, and it was still dragging. I did feel sorry for Noah in some of the parts, and Noah is a very nice character in this book. You know, he's very sweet, very gentle, very kind, and very loving, and I kind of liked him as a character. Chase got on my nerves. Chase took advantage of Ariana right from the beginning. He knew that she was in love with him, and he took advantage of that. He didn't notice her all them years that she fell in love with him and liked him, and then all of a sudden, because she caught the eye of someone else, he then decided to go, oh, wait a minute, I don't like the fact that you're chasing somebody else and you've stopped chasing me. I want you back in my life. I don't like him at all. I didn't like his character, and to say they were supposed to be all friends from like when they were very young, and oh, I'm going to stick up for you, you know, we're all by each other's side. He weren't. He was just something different about him that I didn't like, and I think he just played her a lot of the time, and she knew that in the end. But I didn't like his character at all. I actually wanted to throttle him, and I thought, what is your purpose here? What are you trying to get out of it? Like, at the end of the day, you knew she was in love with you right from the beginning, and then because all of a sudden then she started to talk to Noah, you know, and do stuff with Noah, and then stop chasing him, it was a bit like, oh, no one's chasing me now, I need someone to chase me, blah, blah, blah. And I just, no, I can't stand that sort of thing in real life either. So yeah, Chase got on my nerves, but Noah was very sweet and kind right from the beginning. I actually love Noah, but again, I just wouldn't pick it up for that sake. And I think it's very similar to the way that the things we never got over was, where it was, everything was very drawn out and dragged out, and the characters in it was just not my favourite. So if there is ever a second book of this, maybe that will change, because the things we never got over, and then the things we got from the light. The things we got from the light was my favourite book, and I love the way she wrote that one. However, the first one, not a bit of me, didn't like that one. So maybe this one might be different, I don't know. But for now, nah, I just can't deal with this one. And I wouldn't personally recommend it. I mean, if you've read it and you've loved it, you know, fair enough. But for me, no. And I just think it's so thick for no reason. So personally for me, this is a no from me. So yeah, that is my review and my little reading vlog of Say You Swear. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know what other books I should do as a reading vlog, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye.